Hello, and thank you for joining Only in Sedona Yoga for this restorative yoga flow. This flow will be all seated and lying down. You won't need any props, although it is advisable to bring straps, perhaps a block, some pillows and blankets if you'd like. And we'll be talking today about some herbs you can use to help ease some of the changes of menopause as well. Thank you so much for joining us. Let's talk to our mats. All right, beautiful yogi. Please come into an easy Sukhasana seated position on your mat. One leg crossed in front of the other. Let's just begin with some easy torso mobility before we move into some deep restorative stretches. So place your hands on your knee. Inhale as you lift your chest up. Slide it to the side, take it back. Slide it to the other side and front again, and just move your torso around like you're stirring that big soup pot. Getting some blood and synovial fluid flowing through that spine, flowing through your muscles so you can stretch. Thank you very much for joining us. Let's take this the other way. And we'll talk about some herbs that you can use to help ease any menopausal symptoms. I'll share with you some of the ones I'm using. And I invite you to share some of the ones that you use in the comments below. My dream is to create a healthy, healing community where we can share holistic health tips. So please don't be shy. Go ahead and share. Take this around the other way one more time, please. And last little circle here. Great job. Sit up nice and straight and tall. Let's just stretch out that side body a little. So walk whichever hand you have. It's the same as the front leg over. Bring that elbow down to the mat. Sweep that other arm up and reach to the side and give me 3 breaths. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. One more breath. And as you exhale, come up, just turn around, look behind for 3 breaths, inhaling. And exhaling. Inhale. And exhale. One more breath. And exhale as you return to center, keeping that arm walked out. Drop your chin to the side. Roll your head over to the side. And give me 3 breaths here. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. One more breath. And exhale. Let's get that on the other side. So just switch your cross. Other leg comes out in front. Let's rotate that torso for 3 times one way. And 3 times the other. You can close your eyes and focus in on your breath. Come back to a nice tall seated position. Walk those fingertips out. Come down to the elbow as you like as that arm reaches up and over. Take a breath. And exhale. And then 2 more, inhaling. And exhaling. One more. And as you exhale, twist it back behind. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale one more time. And exhale as you come on back. Let that chin dip down. Take the other ear to the other shoulder. And breathe in. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Last one, yogi. And exhale. Roll yourself onto all fours. Let's do 3 cat-cows to finish warming up that spine. So inhale as you sink into cow. Exhale as you round into cat. Inhale as you sink down. Exhale as you round to cat. One more time. Inhaling as you sink to cow. Exhaling as you round to cat. Come into a neutral spine as you spread your legs a little wider with your toes in. Walk your hands out in front of you. Sink back into a wide leg child's pose. We're going to stay here for 3 breaths. So that your forehead rests on your mat. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. One more time, inhale. And exhale as you slowly round it up. Coming up to set. Turn around to come forward. And we're going to start with a seated forward fold. So turn around on your mat. Sit nice and straight and tall. Inhale as you reach your arms up. Exhale as you hinge forward here from your hips first, leaning forward. You can reach forward, you can take the toes. If you have a strap or a towel, you can use that. You can surrender the hands around the feet. Whatever feels good for you. We're going to be holding here for 5 breaths. And feel free to wiggle around and get comfortable in this pose as you breathe. And as you breathe, I'd like you to follow a boxed breathing pattern. So you're inhaling for a 4 count. A baby pause at the top. And you're exhaling for a 4 count. And focusing on your breathing as you hold these poses helps you in everyday life. You can use these breathing techniques anytime you feel stressed, to get mindful, recenter yourself, regain your sense of self and your equanimity amid life's chaos. So look to your breath, it is your lifeline. And feel free to wiggle in these poses. Feel free to move into what makes it feel good for your body. So if it feels good to sway, do that. One of the differences between yin and restorative yoga is in yin, you're seeking to find that inner stillness. And in restorative, you are too, but through a different way. You're tuning into how your body feels. And if movement is what your body needs to release some of that energy, then that's what you do. The discipline, the poses are very similar, but the mindset is quite different. Give me one more breath here, beautiful yogi. And now on the tail of your next exhale, release whatever hold you have, slowly coming out of it with infinite control. We're going to do a quick counter stretch. So walk yourself down a bit. Your hands come behind you. Two options. Option one, bring your knees in. Come on up to a reverse tabletop. Option number two, extend the legs. Lift up here. Either way, give me 2 breaths. And on the tail of that last exhale, bring it on down, super slow and easy. We're going to go into a few of my favorite stretches. Starting here by crossing one leg up, you're going to have 2 choices. Your first choice is to take Chanu, so just bring that foot right here to the inside of your inner thigh. And you're going to lift up straight and tall. You're going to lean forward and hold. Your second option is to lift that foot up into a half lotus. Bind by taking the toe, lifting just as straight and tall, and leaning forward. And what I want you to do is take the option that feels right. You might be here in half lotus, but your other hand might be here, and you might be sitting up taller, and your hips are saying, I need opening. Please take that option. Likewise, you might be here and just simply relaxing over the leg, feeling your lower back relax. That's one of the big things about restorative yoga is you make it your own. You wiggle in these stretches. You let them heal your body by mindfully tuning into your body and listening to what it needs. So what can you do if you're like me and you're 50 years old and you're entering that point of life where your hormones are starting to change? You might have symptoms like heat flashes waking you up at night, and you might have other symptoms like weight gain. What can you do? Come on up out of the stretch with control and ease. And gently bring this leg into a half cow. And what you're going to do is cross this knee. You're trying to stack one knee on top of the other. You're lifting up so straight and tall. You're leaning it forward. Now you can hook the foot if you want, but I suggest just letting your hands fall. But whatever feels good, take that option. And some herbs that I found that have really helped me, Murapama is one, Damiana is one, Fenugreek is incredibly powerful. 5 drops in my morning tea. Oh my goodness. Is one that helps. What else do I use? I use Dong Quai and American ginseng. And the right dose of these herbs I was having hot flashes back in January. It's now June. So this has been 6 months of this particular experiment. And I've been adding a dropper to my tea of each of these herbs each day. I haven't had a hot flash since. Now there are others, like for example, black cohosh is one that is often mentioned. Evening primrose. Let's come on up out of this one with control. Might feel really tight and tense in those muscles right now, so gently maneuver, bring both legs out, give them a little shake right here before we go into our next stretch. And you're going to move yourself forward on your mat. You're going to extend one leg. You're going to bend the other leg back behind you. Now, if you're saying right here, this is already too much, your option, you won't see me for a minute, is to lay on your side, grab an ankle, and just pull back right here. So you always have this option, but if you can, let that foot lie against your mat, ever so gently go back. Find the position that works for you and just breathe here for 5 breaths. Again, feel free to wiggle. You don't have to find full stillness in these poses. Your goal is to find where it feels good and healing to your body. And roll with that. So if you have a favorite menopause herbal remedy, mention it in the comments. I am a big believer that information should be shared and shared freely. It's the way that humans operated for years, so share that information in our healing community. I can only share what works for me and what I know about herbal medicine. It's much like allopathic, which means that your unique body chemistry reacts differently to different substances. And just like the same medicine that works amazing for some people might not work for you, it's the same with herbs. So choose the ones that work best for you, share what works, and let's learn from one another. Give me 1 or 2 more breaths here, please, beautiful yogi. And with infinite care and gentleness, come on up out of it. Bringing yourself up. Gently releasing that leg. Giving it a little shake as you come to sit. Sitting nice and tall. Use your arms to put you like in a Dandasana staff pose. Let's bend this front knee in. Cross it over. Couple of options here. Your back arm forms a second spine. Lift this back arm or this whatever arm, the opposite arm up. Wrap it around that knee and look behind. If you want to go deeper, the elbow counts. If you want to go even deeper, you do a full bind. But what I want you to ensure is that you can still breathe fully. You're still focusing on that 4 boxed breath, inhaling for 4, a little pause, and exhaling for 4. Should be able to expand your chest in this pose. If you can't, you're twisting too hard, please back off, give your knee a hug, and just look that way. And on your last exhale, turn forward. We're going to come back into that Dandasana staff pose for a moment. So extend both legs. Arms form a second spine as you lift your back up. And then extend your arms overhead. Lean forward. Use a strap if you want here. And give me 3 breaths. Release out of it. Slowly come up as you drag those hands back and place them behind you. If you want to bend the knees, go ahead and do so. Otherwise, extend those legs. Lift up in 2 breaths to counter that stretch. And then lower it back down with control. Let's get all that on the other side. So, remember, you have the option to take the Janu variation. Your foot is just propped against this side. And then you're just going to sit up nice and tall. You're going to reach out. You can collapse. You can hook. You can use a strap. Other option. Bring it on up. Wrap around and grab that bind. Lift yourself super tall. Lean forward and take that stretch. Five breaths. Maybe slightly more or less depending on your pace of breathing.
And we are recording again, part 2.
One more breath here, yogi. Your next exhale walks you up out of this one. Cross that leg over into your half cow. I'm a little sticky here, you'll have to forgive me. We're in the middle of a heat wave, but try to stack those knees right on top. Lift yourself up tall. If you can hook, you can do it. If not, just collapse to your point of comfort and stay here for 5 breaths. One more breath here, yogi. Walk it slowly up out of this one. With infinite care and cross that leg. Shake it out a little bit. Come forward so you have room to go back. And then you're just going to take this back leg now and put it behind you. Remember, You always have this option right here, so take this option if you want. Otherwise, that foot comes against the mat. Slowly start to go back. Extend those arms overhead and give me 5 breaths. We want to take a moment here to thank you so much for supporting Only in Sedona Yoga. Each new subscription helps us grow, so please subscribe to our channel. Give this video a like if you enjoy it, and share it with other people who you think it might benefit. I try my best to introduce you to various yoga forms on this show. It includes some meditation so you can get everything you need for your health. But we need you to grow, so tell us what you like and don't. Leave us comments. Please join our family. Let us know what you'd like to see more of, because we aim to please. I feel very blessed to be able to still be here and doing this, and I want to make this the best program for you. But for that to happen, I need you to give me your input, so tell us what you like. And give me 1 or 2 more breaths here, Yogi. And then gently come out of this with infinite care, walking yourself up nice and easy, nooey gooey. Uncross that leg, or unbend it rather. Shake your knees out, nice and easy. One last stretch before we lay it down for our final supine stretches. So bring that leg across. Your back arm is the second spine. Front arm reaches out. Give yourself a hug and look back. Only if you want, take the elbow. Only if you can breathe freely, take the bind. Give me 5 breaths. Bring it back around, unpretzel yourself. Take that leg, shake it out. Come forward so you have room to go back. Support yourself behind your thighs. Roll yourself down to your mat. Extend your front leg. Bring your right leg or left leg or back leg, whichever leg is back, to a 45-degree angle. Take it across your body. And then this bottom leg you're going to bend. Grab the toe, a little variation of cat's pulling its tail. Let your head fall to the other way. Give me 5 breaths. And if you are going through menopause, restorative yoga is your friend. It can help to calm your central nervous system and some of that hormonal storm you're experiencing. So let these workouts be your medicine. And release that bottom leg. Come back to center. Extend that leg. Bring the other leg into a 45 degree. Open the arms out. Cross it over. And then bend that bottom leg. Grab the toe. Looking the other way. A little cat pulling its tail. Variation. And give me 5 breaths. One more breath, yogi. And release that bottom foot. Bring it back to center. Bring both knees into your chest for a little hug of self-love and appreciation because you did something wonderful for yourself today. Inhale here. Extend into your final resting pose. I invite you to take the next 5 minutes to rest. Perhaps reflect on some of the changes in your life. Me at Only in Sedona, I want to thank you so much for the wonderful changes you have brought to our lives. With your support, thank you with infinite gratitude. Enjoy the rest of your day, beautiful yogi. Namaste.